enable Zstandard compression in Caddy for Jenkins. With the release of Jenkins LTS 2.479.1, there was a new option added to where you can disable the compression within the Jetty servlet engine within Jenkins. This gives you the ability to use different compression with reverse proxies. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to use Zstandard with Caddy. Here's today's starting point. I have a Jenkins LTS controller version 2.479.1. It's setting behind Caddy as its reverse proxy. Now we're going to be taking a look at the vendors.js file that we can see here in our web developers tools. If we click on vendors.js, what we'll see is we have content encoding is gzip, and the file size is right around 197K. What we want to do is we want to be able to go ahead and enable the Zstandard compression within Caddy to see if we can get that transfer size down from 197 to something smaller. Now, one thing I want to note, at the time of recording, which is November of 2024, both Chrome and its variants and Firefox both support Zstandard compression. However, Safari and anything built on WebKit does not. So if you are using primarily WebKit-based browsers for your work, then this won't help you. Zstandard only works currently with Chrome and Firefox. So in your case, you might want to use a different reverse proxy so you can use Brotli compression, which works across Chrome, Firefox, and WebKit-based browsers. So since I'm using Firefox as my browser right now, I'm good to go ahead and turn on Zstandard. Now, how do I go about doing that? Well, within Caddy, we have a one line or one section, depending on how much configuration you want to do, for enabling encoding. Caddy supports internally both gzip and Zstandard. We can set a minimum length and we can set matches. Now, if we take a look at it, what we want to do is we actually want to enable both gzip and Zstandard. So in the case of WebKit, if it can't do Zstandard, it'll fall back to gzip. So in that case, you would still be okay. The default compression is roughly to the equivalent of the default Zstandard mode, which is level 3. Now we could override that if we want to, but we're going to leave it just at the standard. The match section, which we're also going to leave default, covers all of the different content types. So in our case, we're doing JavaScript, and that is covered within this default list of match. So what we need to do is modify our Caddy configuration to enable encode. Let's go ahead and go do that. So if we take a look at our Caddy configuration or our Caddy file, what we'll see here, I already have it commented out, but it's here. So I have encode, Zstandard, gzip. Now, why do I define both? Well, if we go back over to the documentation, what we're going to see down at the bottom of this is an example. And if we have Zstandard and gzip, what that means is enabled Zstandard and gzip compression with Zstandard implicitly preferred since it's listed in the first position. Now, we could change other configurations, but I just want to go ahead and include Zstandard. So if we go back over into our Caddy file, take a look at it. We've now enabled that. Let's go ahead and save this file, and let's reboot Caddy. Now that Caddy's restarted, let's go back over to our controller. We'll click on the dashboard link, go down to vendors.js, and we'll notice here that the content encoding is still gzip, and the file size is still right at 197K. Why is that? Well, remember, the basis for this video is that there's a new option within Jenkins that we can use to turn off the compression. Since Jenkins, or Jetty in this case, is sending back gzipped data by default, then once it hits into Caddy, it sees that it's already compressed and it just passes it on through and doesn't try to do a recompression. What we want to do is completely disable our compression within Jetty so that Caddy can go ahead and do all the compression for us. So let's go ahead and go back over to the machine. Let's edit our Jenkins configuration. We're going to modify Jenkins ops. I'm going to say -- compression equals none. At the time of recording, the only two options for compression are gzip, which is the default, and none. So we're setting it to none, no compression on Jetty, and that way we'll let Caddy do all the compression for us. Let's go ahead and save this, and let's restart Jenkins. Now that Jenkins restarted, let's go ahead and go back over to our dashboard. We'll click on dashboard. We'll click on vendors.js. And now we can see that content encoding is set to Zstandard or ZSTD. If we also take a look at the transferred value, we can see that it's 210K. Now, if you think about it, our gzip value was about 197K. So it's actually gone in the opposite direction. What we want to do is we want to change our compression value. Now it's at this point, we could go ahead and choose to go ahead and reconfigure Caddy to try to make our compression better. There is documentation about how to do that. I'll leave that up to you as an exercise. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on X at CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.